This episode is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana is in the business of driving you happy. And with the widest selection of used cars under $20,000, you're bound to find a car that'll put a smile on your face. They even offer customizable financing so you can plan your down and monthly payments. To shop thousands of affordable vehicles 100% online, download the app or visit Carvana.com. Availability may vary by market.
Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi includes advanced security to help protect all your connected devices. You'll get real-time alerts. Oh, like this one, so you don't have to worry about malware. Or when your kid downloads a song from a shady link. And now all your computer can play is...
red color, where are you?
all blocked, thanks to advanced security, included with Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi. Advanced security must be enabled in the Panoramic Wi-Fi app. Restrictions apply.
To another episode of My Worst Date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
And we just were like, Christina was about to tell us some hot tea. And I was like, don't say
First
it.
of all, we're recording on a Monday night. So I feel like the vibes are chaotic already. It's weird in here.
It's very, very strange. It's like post-work hang. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. The tea that I saw was that a bunch of people noticed that Bob Odenkirk was just following foot fetish Instagrams.
You know what? First of all, there's a part of me that's like not surprised.
But also,
No.
Secondly, I don't care.
here's the best part is that like they were making fun of it. And so then he stopped following it. And now there's an uprising where people are like, let that fucking king watch his foot fetish.
Let that man like
Who
feet.
cares if he wants to like
As long
feet?
as everybody's feet are being displayed
Right.
consensually.
Yes.
He's not hurting anybody.
No.
Look, live and let live. Okay. Like if
Yes.
you like looking at feet, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Get them.
Yeah. I have no issue. I have no issue with anyone's fetish as long as consenting adults are participating in them.
That's exactly
okay,
right.
I do have a question then when it
Okay.
comes to feet.
Okay.
How do we feel about wiki feet? So I feel a little icky about it. I'm not going to lie.
You feel icky about Wiki.
I feel icky about
Sorry.
Wiki for sure. I just feel like
it is weird in here
it's
today.
weird. But I'm like, to zoom in on somebody's feet.
So Wiki feet is when famous people, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's
But
like,
not even always like that famous.
No.
Like you could just, I mean, listen,
Again-
all we need is like a few more thousand downloads and any one of us could end up on Wiki feet. Truly.
I
I'm wearing
feel
sandals to our
Not
next
an
live
invitation
show.
at all. Yeah.
I feel like exactly what I said. Consenting adults. I feel like you're not signing off on having your feet on this website, so it doesn't feel like you're consenting
See,
to
doesn't
it.
it feel a little weird
I'm
to
about
me?
to wear sandals to our next live event. I'm consenting.
Girl. Okay.
Oh, you're like,
Look at her feet. She was asking for it.
Yeah, she's
Energy
like,
coming
putting
over
my
here.
I'm putting them up on Feet Street.
Oh man.
yeah,
Get them live.
I feel like I would be uncomfy because they like, also maybe it's just me being super self-conscious because they like rate your feet.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Dude,
if somebody rated my feet badly, I would be so sad.
Girl, I have ogre feet. Okay. My toes are always I will forget for months to shave my toes and then I look like fucking Frodo Baggins.
I'm not gonna lie
It
to
is
you.
like fucking
I get like
hairy
hair.
toes. And I'm like, what is going on?
My physical therapist the other day said, he's like, oh, you have Egyptian toes. And I'm like, that is really weird.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know.
Vaguely
He's like, because
racist.
Yeah,
also I'm like anything but. I'm like the furthest thing from Egyptian.
That's just such a
But he was
weird
like-
thing to say.
But
What does
he's
it
like,
mean?
oh, he's like, because they all are like in row and in order. Like they're like not like it's like big toe down. They're all
like you don't have like the second. Some people have a
Yeah.
second toe that's like a
They
little
don't,
longer
right? Like,
than the
it's
first
all-
toe.
They're all like it's just like all one
Oh, dude, my toes are chaos. Like my toes are facing different directions. They're like
Right. Well, that's only one foot. The other foot, I have a full-on hammer toe that I was born with.
one little piggy went to the market, the other one went to the moon. So like, who knows what's going on with the
Keegan,
feet.
are you checking your feet to see if they are
I'm like
Egyptian
looking. I'm like,
feet?
I'm trying. I'm literally. I took off my sock and I'm looking at my foot and I'm like trying. I'm like
gotta look
looking at
this
it
up.
like I'm trying to look at my feet through strangers' eyes. Like I'm like, do
you
I have good feet?
Well, from what
me
I've
see.
heard, the more character your feet has, sometimes they can be more popular. So
Yeah.
my feet are nothing but character driven. So
Oh, well, there you go.
like-
You have Meryl Streep of feet.
they make a whole personality out of it. Okay, let's see here. We got okay.
This is amazing.
Okay, so we have Egyptian, which is literally is like mine, right? So it's like big toe down. It's like it's a sharp angle, big toe, and then all the way down. And then you have Roman toes, which are your big toe, your second and third are all large,
Are like the same?
the same. But then the 4 and 5 are shorter.
Okay.
Mine are close to that. My first two are like almost the same, and then my third is a
Then
little
I go
lower.
down after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
that's the
you're-
same.
That is true. Yours is more Roman, and
Yeah.
then the Greek toes. Why? This is the fucking weirdest thing.
It sounds
ever.
really like
We're not
came up
making
with
this up.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
not making this
not-
up.
There
Yeah.
was some very problematic like
Your
podiatrist.
ancestry by toe shape. I am not Egyptian,
Lies.
even in the slightest bit. Okay, so Greek is you have your big toe, and your second toe is higher. Then they drop down, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's me.
That's closer to mine. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so second toe is taller than your thumb toe.
Okay, so
Oh,
I got toes going this way, and then on this foot, I got toes being like a little like lean, a little like gangsta lean, like hey.
But they also have German toes. So the German toes are I'm not
on
making
right
this up. I'm not making this up. I want our people to know what our wiki feet story is going to be for
Okay.
them. And so the
Okay.
German toe.
No, please don't make a wiki feet page. I don't
No.
have a strong enough self-esteem.
I won't
for
tell
it.
you.
I can't.
So German toes, you got your big toe is larger, and then the baby toes are just straight across line.
All of
So
them.
it's just boop, boop.
All of
Oh
them.
wow. Okay.
severe.
That's very severe.
Well, you also have the African toe, which is the big toe, your thumb toe, and your second toe are the same, and then they gradually go down. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Well, that's what mine do.
are.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, accurate.
Oh my God. Okay.
My 23andMe would agree.
Fun story. Norwegian toes, almost exactly the same as Egyptian toes, which does make sense for me because I do have a lot of Norwegian.
There we go.
I'm gonna
my
say it. I'm
gosh.
gonna say it. I feel like this is.
Tell me I don't have Norwegian toes.
I feel like this is bunk science. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know.
This is the same people we always, exactly.
This is brought to you by Life Balance, okay?
Oh.
So
Oh, well,
I
then.
think
In that case.
hey, sportsdiary.com.au. I mean, you got to know.
I have to say, I feel kind of bad for Bob Odenkirk.
I do
he
too.
got shamed.
I didn't like it. I was glad that people are coming to his defense, and I was like, look at your feet, man. Like, there's no problem with that. Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't care.
You know what?
Do you
People
think
make
he has a
good
favorite?
money. People make good money selling feet pics.
Absolutely.
Good money.
I have thought about it. I have thought, dude, the amount of side hustles you queens are out here fucking doing on TikTok is so inspiring. And like, I just wish I could go back to 20-year-olds, like the farts in jars, the selling the panties, the feet pics,
in
all
it.
of that.
I love
Get
it.
that fucking money.
Secure
I
that
love
bag.
it.
Yes.
I love it.
I feel like now I've gone down the foot rabbit hole, and I do need you to know that there's actual personalities now attached to these.
know.
as well.
I truly feel like it's a bridge too far. I
I'll keep it to myself.
I don't believe it. Like I was actually thinking this the other day because like after I got my Invisalign,
It's almost like palm reading.
Yeah. What does your feet
But with
say
your
about your personality?
but like what happened? What happens if you get in like an accident? Like your feet get all fucked up, and then
Oh, yeah.
does it change your personality? I was thinking
Well-
about this today because when I
Does
was
it change your
when I was a
personality?
kid, I remember reading Cosmo magazine. And they had a whole thing. Do you remember in like teen magazines, anything could tell you about your
Oh
personality.
yeah. Oh yeah. What do you doodle?
And there was one
if you
that was
doodle
like
hearts, you're this kind of personality.
Exactly.
Totally.
And there was
Sassy
one that was
magazine.
like,
You know what
pictures.
my personality is? Going back through and doing the quiz multiple times to get the
The
answer
answer
that
I
I wanted.
Yes.
No, I know. And they
My
thought
personality.
they thought we were fucking stupid too. Like, cause I'm just like, okay, I know if I want to be this type of person, I just have to answer B all the way down this multiple choice.
Exactly.
Okay. No, but there was this one that was like, it was like, what do your crush's lip shape? What does their lip shape say about them? Right?
Okay.
And so I remembered reading it, and like my lip shape has changed since I got Invisalign and stuff. And also I've gotten older. Like it used to be that like my bottom lip was bigger and now my top lip is bigger.
Yeah.
Just because of just the way that like I grew up, and I'm just like vastly different personality types.
Well,
so this feels like I'm just saying
Cosmos science, yeah. I'm going to go ahead.
Science.
But like for palm reading, I feel like they work that in there. If you've had an accident or whatever, it doesn't change your personality, but it becomes like part of the reading or what have you. I used to be really into reading palms, like
me too.
when I was like 11 or 12. I thought it was super fascinating.
It is
So
fascinating.
now I kind of do want to know about the foot
Okay.
science.
Well, I'm gonna tell you if you want to know about your
Okay,
meaning.
tell-
I do have it pulled up.
Tell me my foot personality.
It is only giving me Roman, Egyptian, and Greek, so we do have to choose from
Okay,
them. I
I'm
think
the
close-
Greek.
The
Greek is
then is
closest to me
closest.
as well. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
meaning is people with this shape are said to be sporty and creative, but have the tendency to be impulsive, which can lead to stress. They have leadership qualities, but if the toe is narrow at the bottom and is much wider in the top, they are said to be very expressive and have drama queen-like characteristics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's, some of it. Yeah.
Roman
Okay.
foot, I think, is what you said you had.
No, mine is closer to Greek, honestly. I mean, it's similar.
My
Well,
toes
could
have
go
an
either way.
hourglass figure. What does that mean?
Figure. Mine do too. They got a shrink in a little at the
And,
toe.
and then they like nice little. This is getting beyond weird. Okay.
All right. So Roman feet. Often people with this shape are said to be well balanced and have well proportioned body shape. That's weird. They tend to be outgoing and really enjoy discovering new cultures and new surroundings. All right.
You know what?
Egyptian foot. Here we go.
Yeah.
Those with this foot shape are said to have feet of royalty, and their personality shows it. They enjoy being pampered and taken care of, and aesthetics are very important to them. Wow.
Yeah.
I listen. What do I have to do to become one of those people who's just like, yeah, this means that? Because like,
Honestly.
who decided this? It's just
Let's
like,
actually, we should work on something.
yeah.
We'll make our own like.
Personality foot
And
shirt.
just
Yes.
fucking say it enough so that people are like, yeah, that's for real.
Oh my gosh. Let's do that. And we'll, over the next year, slowly
Just
infiltrate pop culture
Yeah.
until people just fucking buy it. We're going to L. Ron Hubbard the shit out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Wow.
This is the legacy we
can we-
leave behind.
Can we go back to the fact that my physical therapist told me talked
Well,
about my foot
apparently
shape?
it's a thing.
I guess.
I mean, you are going to
It is
physical therapy
weird.
for your feet. So,
I am,
I mean,
but it
I
is.
apparently it's a thing. I can't even fault him for it. I'm like, I
mean,
guess
imagine a guy rubbing your foot and telling you that. I'm like, what are we on
Oh.
a date? Like,
Yeah. It sounds very, it's got a vibe to it,
It
that I
does.
don't know if I'd want a medical professional stating to me while they were working on my foot.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go. That led to a very interesting conversation. So, I mean, in that respect, should we like fuck, marry, kill like famous people with foot fetish?
or just fetish.
how
people?
many
Oh, I know.
famous people do
Well, you
we
got
know?
Quentin Tarantino,
Oh,
Bob
God.
Odenkirk, and I feel like,
I feel like we can Google one.
yeah.
We can find somebody.
I really hope you get asked to be on.
the Google said safe search is off. Britney Spears.
What?
Yeah.
All right, throw her in there.
Yeah.
Wow. Really? Well, Quentin Tarantino's number one.
I'll
course,
be,
yeah.
Oh, Britney Spears rarely wears shoes and has said publicly she enjoys having men kiss her feet. That's a vibe. I love
Okay,
that.
Okay.
Andy Warhol. Christian Slater.
Ooh, I'm in.
All right.
Said in an interview, I'm always experimenting in the bedroom and trying to discover new ways to have a good time and enjoy myself. I think toes are a lot of fun, definitely.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll put Christian Slater in that.
Throw him in there.
And then Bob Odenkirk. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Redman,
Really?
he raps about it. Pharrell Williams.
Oh.
Pharrell. Have we ever done Pharrell?
No.
Yeah, let's do Pharrell.
Okay, Pharrell.
Okay.
Yeah, asked in an interview if he had a fetish. The front man responded, "Girls' feet."
Okay.
Oh,
So
wow. He was just straight
was
into the
straight
point.
up with it.
Okay. All right. So we've got foot lovers. We've got, I don't know why that just reminded me of like meat lovers pizza.
Are we hungry?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Foot lovers, we've got Pharrell, we've got Christian Slater, and Bob Odenkirk.
This
Ooh.
makes it
solid.
spicy.
It
Okay.
does.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to marry Bob Odenkirk, who seems like a super solid,
Yeah.
super amazing, smart, funny, talented guy. He's been in the game forever.
Yeah.
I see red wine. I see a clean kitchen. There's
And he'll
things that
play
I
like board games with you. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like he's going to make them fun too. Like it's going to be like fun board game night.
Yeah. He'd watch a documentary with me.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like.
Definitely.
You're going to hang. We're going to have good friends. Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to hang out with your friends. You're going to love his friends.
yeah.
It's going to be one of those.
He seems loyal to your friends too.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he's got your friends back when you go
Totally.
out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fuck Pharrell Williams.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that for
think
you.
he's-
I love
I
this
think
journey
he's
for you.
really hot. I don't know too much about him, but I mean,
He is
him as
hot.
a producer, like I like his beats. We can, do it in the studio to some of his beats, and I'm gonna kill Christian Slater.
Wow.
I have to
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Cuff star Christian Slater. I just that's who I'm going with. So yeah.
Cuffs gem.
Okay. I'm tempted to do the same. Because I really do feel like of the three of them, Bob Odenkirk is the most like just stable. Like he is solid.
Okay.
I feel like across the board, like Bob Odenkirk is a good guy. That's all I've ever heard about him. Anybody I've ever met who's known him has said that he's like such a nice guy. He's so funny. But part of me wants to marry Pharrell.
Yeah.
I think I kind of want to marry Pharrell. I just kind of want to see what that wacky ass life is like. I feel like he lives a very extra life. And so I don't know if our marriage will be long lived.
Right.
Necessarily.
I don't know. He seems like a loyal guy.
I don't know anything about his personal life really.
Yeah, I don't really. Which I kind of actually like that it's like he seems like he's very private in that respect.
Yeah.
So I can kind
appreciate
of like that.
And he never ages because he's a vampire.
Yeah, he doesn't
I feel
age.
like he
hot.
is married. I just looked. Look how pretty his wife is.
Of course, she's gorgeous.
Oh,
of course.
Shit.
Yeah.
She's so pretty.
Fuck.
I guess I'm out. Wow. Okay.
And then having to compare, I hate to do it. I can't do it. I can't kill Bob Odenkirk. Like he just seems like such a nice guy. So I'm gonna have to change it. I will marry Bob Odenkirk because I don't want a one night stand with Bob Odenkirk.
No.
That feels wrong.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and I'll marry him. I'll have a many night stand
Okay.
with Bob Odenkirk and I will fuck Pharrell. And I really like Christian Slater.
Yeah, me
too.
I think that he's talented. We've all seen Heathers. We get it. And I like it. But yeah, I think I'm going to.
I think Cassie, you're gonna switch it up, aren't you?
Yeah.
Of course I am.
Of course.
You
Yes.
know me.
Yeah.
I'm going to marry Christian Slater.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
He's taking care
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, I don't
hey,
feel
you
bad
guys-
then. Yeah.
Hey, you guys, don't worry.
Oh, good.
I'll say Christian
I'm so
Slater.
glad.
I'll take him right off your hands. Solid. I like he is one of those guys that for me definitely had that like early like childhood 80s 90s crush on him.
Yeah.
That never really went away because I think he's still a phenomenal actor. I think he's still doing his thing. And he still looks just as fucking good. Like he still looks phenomenal. He keeps it toy. But he also has a really good reputation. And I think that's the thing that you can say about somebody who's been around for that many years.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems to really have like that kind of personality that's like, always positive. He seems to be well liked by a lot of his other actors and things like that. So I don't know. I really like Christian Slater. So I'm going to marry him. I'm going to fuck Bob Odenkirk.
You know
Well,
what?
all
Go
right.
for it.
All right.
Yeah, like
I mean, like, why not? Do I think he's the sexiest one? Not really, but
You
I
know what?
also
Maybe
kind of
he
feel like
is,
he might be
though.
the wild card here.
he might surprise
he
you.
is going to be
Truly.
like the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets freaky.
He's got
and
the
then,
red room, and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Why do I feel
Yes.
like there's this? You're like, wait.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not
then,
mad
but then he
at
goes.
it.
But then he goes right back to being just like super sweet in the morning. He brings you pancake.
Oh,
you know, like
absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got like an espresso machine.
yeah, 100%. He
Yeah.
makes his own coffee. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that was a wild ride, but I kind of like it for
That
us.
was the weirdest opening we've had in a minute. I'm not gonna lie to you. That went off the rails in a real way.
Yeah. In the best way. Let's be honest. That was so funny.
Well, you guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Sounds
Yes.
good.
And we're back. Okay, I've got the Tainted Love this week, so I will kick us off with stories. So I'm living in the Bay Area, working as a management consultant, and I buy a new car. I'm a bit of a performance enthusiast, so it was a nice one, but nothing too ostentatious, but it was at a nice dealership. In buying cars, you often deal with a service counter, and at that service counter was a painfully cute brunette. So, of course, I make sure that I can get everything done that I needed to and struck up a conversation during one visit. Talked a bit and asked her if she wanted to hang out sometime. She agreed, said it sounded fun. We exchanged info, and I agreed to pick her up later that week. Tell her it's a casual date, fun, nothing formal. So I pick her up. You're picturing her showing up in like a formal gown?
Yes.
She doesn't, but so I pick her up. Her roommate answers the door and says, Leela is running a little late. To come in and wait shouldn't be long. 45 minutes later,
Oh, Lord.
Leela comes out. She's looking good, so I'm not too angry, but damn, 45 minutes late for a casual date. I mean, I will say that in general, I think that's a note that we've seen a lot is just like be respectful of other people's time.
I
That's
know.
exactly right.
I do feel like that's disrespectful of someone's time. So we go to the mini golf place. And
Aw,
45 minutes to get ready for a
I
mini
know,
golf.
exactly.
However,
Look,
same.
Look, but I know that
But I
about
know that.
myself.
plan
Like,
that
and I
ahead of
plan that.
time.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Yes, I plan ahead for that kind of thing. We go to the mini golf place, a nice one, and we play a little bit. She's cute, but annoying.
Oh.
She was a screamer, and that is one thing
Oh.
that rides my nerves when someone screams at every little thing. This was me when I was like 21, or me now if I get too drunk still.
Yeah.
yeah, I get
The loud one.
just
Yeah.
getting really loud.
Well, you know, you got to vibe. Like sometimes, yeah, as an introvert, like being around like super, super loud people like that. And of course, I'm like cognizant, like what are people looking at? Like,
Yeah,
are
there's
we
spec-
being a bother? Like it's too much for me. I can't do that.
Especially atmosphere too, right? Like you're just mini golfing.
It depends on where you are.
You don't
yeah,
need to be a woo girl here,
if
right?
Yes.
If you are woo girling at a night out karaokeing, that's a
Yes.
little different than
A
woo
lot
girling at like I'm guessing
Mini
also like still like light out mini golf. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
She misses close. She screams. She sinks one. She screams. Something
no.
happens with the hazard. She screams. We're talking, and there is a difference in educational levels and interests. Career goals are a bit different, that kind of thing. She's also younger than I am by a few years. I'm 26, she's 22, so different levels of maturity. Not a total disaster yet. I'm just a little annoyed, but it's fine. About halfway through the game, she orders a beer. No big deal. I order one too. Then she orders another at the end of the game. I tell her that I was thinking of a nearby restaurant that's pretty good. She agrees. We head over there. We walk in and she exclaims, "Let's sit at the bar." Okay, let's do that.
All right.
I will say that anytime your date, when you're at a sort of trendy place, starts yelling shots, it's a bad sign.
Oh, yeah, that's probably going to take a turn.
Dude, shots on a date is a
Risky
whole
business.
vibe.
You guys have to
Risky
be, you have to be vibing in just the right way
Right.
for you
Yeah.
guys to be like, let's do shots. And even then, shots responsibly, and also,
I mean, truly.
eat first, maybe, and like a shot, not like,
Right. Yeah.
I order some appetizers. She orders a mixed drink, which by the time the food arrives has turned into shots of tequila.
Oh, I just got chills.
I've tried to tell her to back off the drinking, slow down, all that stuff.
Don't tell me what to do.
She says, I don't know how to have a good time.
Oh.
Suffice it to say, she gets hammered. Hammered enough to be obnoxious with the server and generally look like a fool. At one point, she gets up to use the restroom and loudly exclaims, "Gotta break the seal," followed by a woo-hoo. Gotta break the seal. Woo! It reminds me of...
Is this me at 22, though, a little bit?
It reminds me of the 40-Year-Old Virgin with Leslie Mann, and she's in the car, and she's like, I want some fucking French toast. That's the vibe.
You're like blowing this.
Gotta break the seal, followed by a woohoo, to which people all around look at us. Understand that this isn't a party bar or restaurant. It's sort of a cool place with craft cocktails and decent food.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're not at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Right? I wanted to burst into flames. One woman at the table over looks at me and says, "I'm so sorry."
Oh,
and
whoa.
her presumed boyfriend/husband goes, "Ouch, dude, cut and run."
Oh, no.
Do you have any idea how embarrassing someone has to be to bring people into communicating on your shitty date?
Oh,
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Mm-hmm. She left her phone on the table and I had to. I picked it up. It wasn't locked. I found her roommate's number and called her. Told her this was Richard, Leela's date, and she was plastered. Utterly ridiculous. Her response, "Yeah, that happens. She likes to have a good time. Just bring her home, I guess. It's gonna get worse."
Oh, wow.
Roommate's sitting at home like, oh.
Here we go again.
I had finals.
God damn it. Leave her there.
Leela comes out of the bathroom still reeling and stops our server and says, "I want another shot."
No, you do not, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I'm like, no.
Server's like, we'd like to keep our liquor license. So good day.
I said good day.
I'm like, no, we need to get going. She then calls me a wuss and says that I'm uptight.
Great.
I lead her out, drop about $120 on the table, knowing that will cover with a generous tip, and lead her out of the restaurant. We get going. She wants to, quote, hit a bar and party, and I want nothing of the sort. She says, or we could go back to your place, and makes this weird hip gyrating motion with the sound I can only describe as
Oh my God.
You want to do it?
We can get back to your place. Wait, I feel like this might have been me.
Stop it.
Somebody's like, she's like, uh-oh.
Leela is the name I used to use.
Oh, shit.
No, not happening. 1, I'm not gonna fuck someone who's this drunk. 2, I don't want this crazy person in my rather nice apartment. I tell her I'm taking her home. She gets angry, calls me a pussy, and says that I don't know how to have fun. Then she says she doesn't feel so good. To which I pull over and was about to help her out.
Nope,
and
new
then
car.
Then she says, "It's coming." And I rolled I roll down the window and she hangs out and proceeds to upchuck down the side of my brand new car.
Upchuck's not a word we get to use very much.
Right.
No,
yeah.
no,
and
you're
there
right.
goes that new car smell.
Yeah,
Got to
immediately.
enjoy it for like all of 2 days.
Yeah, at this point, I was past being polite. I open the door for her. She finishes giving flight to her dinner. I get her back in the car and drive home. She starts crying, saying what a wreck she is, and I agree with that.
Yep.
She starts crying more, and I bite my lip and drive her home without saying another word. I take her up to her place as she stumbles and cries, not letting her fall or knock on the door. Her roommate answers and takes her inside, apologizes, and Leela turns around and says something incomprehensible.
This is and you're like, cool, deuces.
Great.
Yeah.
I make my escape, then find a car wash and find myself washing vomit off of my car in the dark alone. Still by far the worst date I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Oof.
Yuck.
You can't get that sloppy, man, on a date. We've talked about it. There's actually something I saw today that It's a new trend, dry dating. People putting dry dating on there that they don't want to go. It's like a bar or something like that to meet up. They want to.
I see the value in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genuinely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about the different personalities that come out when you drink, dependent on when you drink. I mean, it's just it's variable.
Yeah. And
you're
it's
not meeting the real person.
It's so easy to go down that route. Like, start, like you said, one drink in and, another drink. And
well, a lot of people,
before you know it,
a lot of people like myself even like drink to relieve social anxiety.
Sure.
So I get why it's so appealing to go to a bar, for a lot of reasons. It's like, it's loud. There's like less pressure on you to be like great at conversation and stuff like that. And like you can get more comfortable, get loosened up by drinking and stuff like that. But it is also harder to tell if you genuinely vibe with somebody.
Right.
Or if you're just having a good time because you both are like drunk.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I love this guy.
This guy's
like,
so much
this
fun.
guy's so much fun. And then you like go to like meet them during the day. You're like, ugh.
Oh my God, it's so boring.
You're a wet blanket. All right. So my story starts off to preface, I'm not looking for advice or anything. Oh, this was a post. My story starts, I'd like to share the absolutely weird night that was 100% my bad because I did not have the courage to do what any other normal person would do. I, 27, set up a date with this guy tonight, 30, through Tinder. We were both looking for something casual, fun. So I picked a place by my apartment with the assumption that I'd take him back to my place if things at the bar were going well.
There you go.
I am also on my period. Necessary information because it made it clear that if things go well at the bar, the most I'm interested in is doing a little makeout.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm hoping this will go well because I want to make out with someone on a Sunday night. And I'm hoping he'll be cool enough that I'll get to do that with him. He was not cool.
Oh, yeah.
No. Well, I mean, obviously, because she's writing the night it happened. So I'm like, things did not go well, clearly.
Things did not go well. Besides the fact that I was purely physically unattracted to him, he was also misogynistic, bullshitting, pyramid scheme pawn, touchy douchebag who thought he was the shit. He was not the shit. He tried to impress me by tipping the bartender $50 on an $8 drink.
I mean, good for that bartender.
I mean, yeah,
for them. Like,
but that doesn't impress me. Like, to me, like, I look at that and be like, you're not good with your money.
Yes, right, 100%.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't like that.
I wasn't wise. Yeah.
You're not making good choices, sir. She said, I mean, yay for the bartender, but he did only did it to get in my pants, which is such a turn off. When somebody's just trying to be like, oh, look how much money I have. I can just throw it away. Or like, it's just such a douchey move. Yeah. He tried to induct me into his pyramid scheme while also simultaneously failing to answer any of my questions about it, such as, how do you make money? And what's the goal of your company? To which he replied, I make connections with humans and gain dividends through our interaction.
Oh, buzzwords.
Synergy. And,
yeah. He also called me sexy about 7 times at random times where it wasn't even relevant.
I have to say, if it's someone that you don't know and aren't like vibing with, like random men calling you sexy, is there anything like more?
It's gross.
Skin quality?
It is. I don't enjoy that either. I don't enjoy people that use like overly familiar stuff like that.
I don't like it
when I'm a stranger. I'm like,
when I was younger, like I think I was like 23, and like a guy called me sexy at a grocery store, like in the frozen food aisle. It was so. It made me like a little scared actually, because I was just like, it was too.
It's too forward for a stranger. Yeah,
we don't know each other.
That word, like sexy.
It's so also, even just a pet peeve of mine in general, like anybody that uses like those like terms like hun, sugar, like.
It depends
darling.
It depends on
like
who
our
it is.
waitress did that the other day, and it drives me crazy.
Oh, see, for me, I'm just like, if I'm at a truck stop and it's a truck stop waitress calling me sugar, I actually love it. I'm like, oh, amazing. I think it's funny, but if there's something about someone who's obviously using a term that's meant to be like, they're trying to say that they're attracted to you, and using words like sexy or hot or just anything, just don't
baby. And it's like,
gross.
Dude, we just met, and it's weird.
No.
I don't
like that.
Yes, agree.
All right. So anyway, he also called me sexy about 7 times at random where it wasn't relevant. And at one point told me a story about how he had to get fluid removed from his dick when he was 14 because he had a never ending boner. What?
Oh my God.
What
is that
happening?
a thing?
I don't know. But like, what? This is your first date.
That's like between you and HIPAA laws. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to
know
your
that.
medical information, sir. Okay.
Anyway, I'm
Oh.
so repulsed by this guy that I can't even imagine him touching my hand, let alone touching my lips, swapping spit. I need to find a way to get out of this date so that he will not come to my apartment, which he clearly was expecting, and we can just go our separate ways, but he has a super annoyingly forward about his intentions. This dude is 100% certain we have great chemistry and he's going to get what he wants tonight.
Aren't they always like 100% certain? They're like, oh, this is going so great for me.
There's sometimes where I feel like I wish that I gave like absolutely zero fucks.
Yeah.
It's obvious to me that I still give like 3 or 4 fucks.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if they were being very pushy and or whatever, and if I wanted to get out of the state, the thing that I was thinking in my head was like, I would try to shit myself.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay. Great.
Please hold on to the remaining fucks that you have.
Yeah.
If
I'm
like-
need you to
I wasn't
I'm like,
ready.
and he will never contact you again.
just you.
Christina, I wasn't
prepared.
ready.
No.
I thought you were like, I'm going to tell this man off. I'm going to get up and leave the bar.
Oh,
no.
literally going to sit
I'm
there and shit.
No.
Who has that kind of control
Don't.
to be able to like on
Or
command
shit on
pee.
command.
Or pee.
pee your pants?
But no, then you have to, now you have to go home and pee pants.
In your pee pants.
Well, but still, you don't have to go home with that stupid guy.
Can't you just, I mean, honestly, with a guy like this, you could just tell him that you're on your period.
Well,
and he'd
also-
probably be like, all right.
Ew. Meanwhile, I'm trying so hard not to roll my eyes. The whole thing was so gross. It made me want to throw up. And that's what got me thinking, what a normal person would have done. Tell him you don't feel a strong enough connection to continue the date. Thank you for your time. Lovely to meet you. Good night. What I did, because for some reason I could not just say,
Did she
the
shit her pants?
very
Come on,
simple
queen. Come on,
above the
queen.
words. I'll just pretend I'm too sick to continue.
Oh,
There you go.
That's fine. That's a me move. That's a passive aggressive. Like, I don't want to deal with confrontation at all. So my tum hurts. I gotta go.
So I shit you not. I start pretending like I'm feeling nauseous, like, oh, I pace my breath, and my body language, and my facial expressions across 15 whole minutes so that it looked like I was just getting sicker and sicker. Eventually,
It's like
I was
pulling in a Meryl Streep
Yep.
performance.
Yeah, that's me. That is what I would do. It's like, yeah.
Eventually, I was sort of hunched over and interrupted him and said, I think I'm going to vomit, and then bolted to the bathroom where I just stood there silently, not throwing up and looking at myself in the mirror
Checking your phone.
like an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not stop there. I came back out, then ran back into throw up again. Then I came out, told the bartender that I was so sorry I threw up in the bathroom, but I had cleaned it up.
Okay,
and
she
there
is
shouldn't
going
be
to
a mess at all.
great lengths. I do feel like I would have at this point just been
Seriously.
like, oh, I need to. I threw up in the bathroom. I'm gonna call a cab. Like I feel like at this point,
This person
It's
is
time.
giving
Yeah.
Sophie's choice when you don't need to.
yeah.
And then I proceeded to grimace, hold my stomach, breathe shallowly, and generally act sick for another 45 minutes.
Oh,
ma'am.
honey.
An hour she's dedicated to this. An hour.
Yeah.
While my fucking date not once offered to take me home. In fact, he kept telling me we could still have a good time. What? Dude, what?
Oh my God.
You know, it's fine.
Power through.
It'll be fine. You just work through it a little bit. Eventually, we went outside, and at this point, I'm hunched over, walking slow, apologizing profusely, just saying how this never happens to me. I must have eaten something, and maybe it was just the drinks. You guys, I even at this point nearly burst out laughing because I had gone on for so long.
Yeah,
But I worked so hard to hold it together that a few tears escaped my eyeballs. At which point I leaned into it and started acting all embarrassed because I was crying on our first date.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh,
I
my
really.
gosh. She is giving the performance of a lifetime.
I literally used my laugh tears to make it look I was so upset and embarrassed. At this point, the gimmick had been going on for well over an hour, and I'm like exhausted from putting in this truly incredible acting performance. My date has confidently diagnosed me as sick due to a unique combination of bad food from earlier, my period, and the alcohol we drank. Dude still wants to get into my fucking pants anyway.
Wow.
And I'm starting to get really annoyed. So I make him drive me home, even telling him to drive slower. I might throw up in your car.
At this point, I'd be like, drive as fast as you can. Yeah. I need to get home. I need to throw up in my own bathroom. Right. Drive home. I don't want to spend another 10 minutes in a car with this man. Please.
He drops me off at my place, stands in the driveway like a pathetic puppy, waiting for me to tell him we can make out, even though I'm clearly in pain. Fake pain, but pain. And then I finally get him to leave me alone. He got one hug. The second the door closed, I dropped the whole act and switched on the shower. Wash that energy off me. Called my friend to tell her that I just acted my way out of a date for over an hour because I couldn't tell a dude to his face that I didn't want to make out with him.
Oh my God.
I feel like this could have been so much easier.
Yeah, a little direct communication. I mean, somewhere between, an Oscar level performance for like an hour and like shitting yourself is really, I think, what we strive for.
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah, there's too many fucks and then there's,
not enough. So, all right, I've got a doozy for you guys.
Great. Is it another one like ours? Because I swear to God, ours was very similar.
Just calamity.
Yeah, you'll see. It is very calamitous energy today. So yes, it had been a while since I last had gotten some. So I tried Tinder to get some luck. Almost immediately, I got a match. She lived 2 hours away, was DTF, and that's a drive my dick was willing to take.
Why is your Tinder set on those parameters to begin with? Like it's too far.
Yeah, well, if you got a bone, you got a bone. We talk for a bit and we exchange a few photos and decide to meet. I pick her up and immediately start noting something is off. She asked me to go to a coffee shop so we can talk before I intend to pound her.
Oh, wait.
She gets
wow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that is
the minimum.
The bare min. Yeah, like it might be a conversation. Yeah.
She gets a triple shot espresso and downs it in seconds.
Oh no.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
She recommended we go to an abandoned cornfield and bone in my car.
What? In the absolute hell.
She wants you too, Malachi.
Oh no.
Children of the corn.
It's not even a romantic outdoor. What is wrong with people? Like last week we had a graveyard. Now we have a cornfield. Like
this is some hometown heroes over here.
Why did you drive to her? Like if you okay, you know what?
All right. So she starts kissing me. And she's going at it. At one point, she even licks the outside of my lips and my cheek, which made me slightly uncomfortable.
I don't like that. That's too much.
I thought, all right, well, fuck it. Let's just keep going. So we're both naked now. I'm pounding away in a cornfield. I'm pounding away for what feels like forever. And after 20 minutes, she's already finished. And I'm trying very, very hard to get there. But for some reason, I can't. She tries going down on me and hurricanes on my dick, teeth and all.
Oh my God.
I ask her to hop back so we can keep going. Right in the middle, a reverse cowgirl, I hear a knock.
Sorry, Thomas.
You scared the shit out of me, Cassie.
What?
I look to my left. And there's this scraggly old man with a double barrel shotgun tapping on my window.
No.
She does not hop off, but covers her chest as this man signals me to roll down my window.
Absolutely fucking not. In no reality am I rolling down the window while somebody is still attached to me.
Considering you're like considering he looks like a pissed off hillbilly and he has a shotgun, I oblige. The next thing that I hear rocked me to my soul.
No.
And I will never, ever forget what he says. No. He cackles out with a serious face in a slow southern drawl. No. This ain't no lover's lane. Oh, no. I start stammering an apology and push this crazy girl who is unfazed off of my dick, hop into the driver's seat, and floor it out of that cornfield.
Both naked, semi-erect.
She just quits talking to me and at that point puts her clothes on and just stares out the window while I'm going 60 down a gravel road with nothing but a white t-shirt and a soggy condom on my lipstick.
Can we also say, can we say, is there anything more pathetic looking than when the condom is still on?
Yes, that is. That visual for me, I swear to God. It's just Porky Pigging it down the highway with just a sad fucking condom slipping off. Oh my God. We stop by some abandoned shack and I clean up while she continues to stare out the window.
Where are they? Why are they in an abandoned shack? Where do they live?
I don't know. She throws a 20 at me on her way out the door, goes to the garbage can and just vomits a torrent of brown yellow puke all over the sidewalk and the side of the can. I just nope the fuck out of there, confused.
Why did she give you money? Why did she pay you?
Good lay, bruh. There's a tip.
She's like, well, I got off.
I got mine.
Oh my God.
I'm so chaos. I nope the fuck out of there, confused, blue-balled, and scared. I never heard from her again and have never used Tinder after that. Oh my God.
She threw him a 20.
And then was like,
I fucking died. Oh my God. Just the fucking visual.
Oh, I know. I can't. Oh my gosh. So, yes, we're definitely
today's chaos.
We cannot record on a Monday night again. You guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yes. Oh my God.
Or actually with the Tainted Love.
And we're back. Keegan.
All right. I've got the Tainted Love this week. And I feel like it's been a minute since we've done a Black Widow.
Ooh.
So I am going to bring you the Black Widow story of Tilly Kleimeck.
Ooh.
Okay. So Tilly Kleimeck was born on October 22nd, 1877 in Poland. When she was a young child, I will say this. The sources for this story are kind of all over the place, details wise. Where it's just like will be like subtle, like small details that are different. Like some stories are like she came over as an infant. Some are like she came over at 4 years old, and like
that's how the Thelma Todd was. Was too. Yeah, where it's like difficult to ascertain what the actual legit truth was.
Yes, and definitely, and you'll see like later in this story too, like. There was so much gossip and stuff too that I feel like at that time period, people just like made up the most salacious thing too.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. So you kind of have to be like, use your better judgment. But at some point when she was a young child, her parents moved to the United States with her 6 siblings, and they settled in the Little Poland section of Chicago. So Chicago at this time had a really large Polish population, actually.
I think they still do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there was a lot of Polish neighborhoods. In 1890, at the age of 14, she married her first husband, Joe Mitzkowitz. The marriage appeared to be a happy one, and the two were well liked within their community. Tilly gained a reputation as a great cook and would often feed stew or homemade candy to the residents of the neighborhood. From a young age, Tilly would brag about her precognitive abilities, saying that she would have vivid dreams that allowed her to predict the future. And this continued on into adulthood, and Tilly was known for predicting the deaths of the pets of her neighbors.
Oh, no. No, no, ma'am. Absolutely fucking not.
So one time she woke up early in the morning. She rushed out of the house, like right after waking up, and ran to her neighbor's house, knock, 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 and let them know that their beloved dog would soon die. She saw it in a dream.
And then me and my dog moved away to a whole nother neighborhood.
Difference between predicting and actually making things happen, but you know.
Well, yes. So not long after that, the dog did in fact die, and this secured her reputation as a psychic. They were like, wow, Tilly, incredible. Okay. So she soon began to predict the deaths and illnesses of people around her. And in early 1914, she began telling friends and neighbors that she dreamed her husband, Joseph, would soon get sick and death would follow shortly after.
Joe's like,
yeah, side eye.
what?
Unsurprisingly, the prediction came true, and Joseph died on January 13th, 1914.
Weird, they all die of stomach ailments.
Like, huh?
That's weird.
Well, the coroner listed the cause of death as heart trouble because it's 1914, and he was like, I don't know, he died of heart trouble, right?
Yeah, see?
Tilly collected $1,000 in life insurance, which 1914 money, I'm guessing, is nothing to sneeze at.
Right.
Sad for Tilly, but life does go on, and she had to get back out there, right?
Yeah, you don't waste that youth.
Yeah, best way to get over somebody, got to get under them. So she joined a matchmaking service that specialized in Polish clients and married her second Joseph Ruskowski, on February. And by the way, I'm going to butcher some of these names. I just am. There's like a lot of Polish names in here. I'm so sorry.
I apologize in advance.
But she married him on February 27th, 1914, a little over a month after the death of her husband of nearly 20 years.
Whoa.
So she's just like, gotta move on. Almost immediately after the marriage, Tilly began telling those close to her that she had a bad feeling about Joseph's health and predicted that he too would soon become sick and die.
Oh man,
and
luck.
Yeah, what terrible luck.
You're her friends. You're like, whatever you say.
Like, okay.
Please don't dream about me.
So Joseph, who was the picture of health when the couple married, started to get sick just 2 months later in early May. And by May 20th, they got married in end of February 27th. Yeah. By May 20th, he had passed away.
Wow.
That is fast track.
She works fast. She works quick like a bunny. He left Tilly $1,200 in cash and $722 in insurance. So in less than a year, she is raking it in, you know?
Yeah, she's money making.
Lucrative career move.
Yeah.
So now we had, Joe died, and now Joseph with a PH. Not long after Joseph with a PH's death, she met and began a relationship with a man named Joseph with an F.
Joe 3.
Joe number 3.
Joe 3. This is too many Joes.
When I tell you that, my apologies to all the Joes listening, but when I tell you that some names need to be retired, this is why. Okay?
Joe 3.
There's too many.
Okay.
So Joseph Guskowski, whom she trusted with the knowledge that she had poisoned her second husband.
Wait.
They get together and she's like, "Can I tell you a secret?"
Oh no.
This didn't deter.
What?
Whoa.
Joseph with an F. Though I do.
I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm Joseph with an F.
Exactly. Those other two Josephs, they were boring old PH Josephs.
Right.
Not this guy over here. I do want to know what that conversation was like.
Joseph was like, "Oh, you got that money."
I'm willing to overlook some shit. So soon the two were off to a romantic weekend getaway in Milwaukee.
Shouldn't have done that. I'm feeling
in Milwaukee.
The Paris of the Midwest.
Always been called that, right?
While there, the topic of marriage came up, and Joseph made it clear to Tilly that he had no intention of marrying her. And this infuriated Tilly.
She's like, motherfucker, I heard what you did to that last Joseph.
Exactly. This infuriated Tilly, who threatened Joseph, saying that she would report him to authorities for violating the Mann Act by taking her across state lines for sex. So the Mann Act of 1910 was a federal law prohibiting the transportation of women across state lines, quote, for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery or for any kind of immoral purpose. So kind of very loose.
That feels vague.
Yeah.
It's very vague.
Also, isn't he like, well, and I'm going to tell them about you fucking murdering people.
Exactly what he said. So, Guskowski pointed out that she was a murderer and he would report her first. He's like, okay, you tell them that we, went to fucking Milwaukee and boned. I will tell them. So not surprisingly, Tilly agreed to kiss and make up. Not long after, and Joseph stayed with her. Just like, why?
I made you soup.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Not long after this, Tilly stopped by Joseph's house with some handmade candy.
My dude.
That's the thing. It's like, both Joseph and his sister ate the candy and got violently ill.
Dumb.
The sister recovered, but Joseph did not.
Sir, you were...
When people tell you who they are, believe them. Mm-hmm. She threatened to put you in jail for not marrying her, and also told you that she had murdered her previous husband
by poisoning.
Yeah.
Sometime after this, Tilly took up with a man named Myers, and the two lived together at his house on Winchester Avenue in Chicago. Not much is known about this guy except that he happened to go missing.
His name was not Joe.
And I think Myers is the last name. So
oh, okay. So it
could have been another Joe.
Joseph Myers. We're going to call him Joe number 4. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
In 1919, Tilly turned back to the handy-dandy Polish matchmaking service, and they hooked her up with a man named Frank Joseph.
Oh, okay. Mix it up. I like that.
Frank
okay.
Joseph.
Joe 5.
Kupzik. The couple married in March of that year, and he moved into the house on Winchester Avenue. So she got rid of Myers, moved this man right in.
No, he just up and left.
Up and left. Yeah. Tilly assured the neighbors that Frank did not have long to live. He moved in. She's like, I got a bad feeling about Frankie Joe.
So do I, and I'm not psychic.
All her friends were like, yeah, we
all
too.
Yeah. She not only shared this prediction with the neighbors, but also with Frank himself, reportedly boasting, it'll be any day now.
Oh my God.
And telling visitors to the home that he has, quote, 2 inches to live.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Which feels like a very 1919 saying or whatever year we're in. Yeah. Frank got sick, and as he grew weaker, Tilly asked him to take out a life insurance policy.
Sir.
My guy.
And Frank's like, I'm putting 2 and 2 together here. It's like the math meme.
Yeah.
He's
But he does it.
Of course he does.
He takes out a life insurance policy. This is the most wild. Not long after, Tilly, she was just flipping through the classifieds, looking at the newspaper, and she found that there was a sale on a coffin. And she could get a coffin for $30. So never
can't pass that up.
Yeah, can't pass that up. Right?
You got to get a deal when you get a deal.
Yeah, never one to turn down
you
a bargain.
Want to lose money on your murdering career,
right? So she purchased the coffin for Frank while he's alive, and asked her landlady if she could store the coffin in her basement. She's like, "Hey, can I keep this in your basement?
Don't worry, it won't be for long.
Yeah.
Any day now."
The landlady, who's a woman named Martha, and apparently one of the only clear-headed people in this story, was like, nah, that's fucking weird and morbid. Keep your casket out of my fucking basement.
You want some candy?
Yeah, I'll give you some candy.
Well, All right.
Twist my arm. So Tilly had to find somewhere else to keep it. She found another place to store the coffin.
She just put it in their front room and was like, this is our new coffee table.
Yeah, yep. She put a sheet over it.
Don't worry about that.
It's funny.
Big box.
Frank soon became bedridden. And would slip in and out of consciousness. As he did, Tilly, devoted wife that she was, sat by his side knitting. She was making a black hat with lace trim, which she showed to Frank during one of his more lucid moments, explaining that she intended to wear it to his funeral.
Oh, that is terrifying.
Fucking,
this is like a
knitting.
fucking scary movie.
Should be done in time. If I timed it out right.
Oh, man.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Frank died April 20th, 1921.
God bless America.
He just moved in at March, right?
Well, they got married. They met in 1919. So she kept this one around for a little bit longer, I think.
Well, and then she saw that sale on the...
Yeah. Now she's like,
ooh. Yep.
Neighbors would later claim that immediately after Frank's death, Tilly appeared to be in a celebratory mood, playing festive music on her Victrola.
Oh,
God. Tilly buried Frank in the coffin she bought, and she wore the hat she made. The coroner listed bronchial pneumonia as Frank's cause of death. And once again, Tilly collected on his life insurance.
Just say you don't know.
Yeah,
Just,
IDK.
You know,
yeah.
right.
This time for $675. By this point, Tilly had become something of a legend in Little Poland.
Yeah,
I fucking bet.
Yeah, exactly. Even if she's getting away with it on like coroner reports and stuff, the neighborhood knows what the fuck is up.
Well, but okay, so I would like to believe that the neighborhood knew as well, but most of the sources say that she became known as a psychic. Like they were like, oh my God,
no,
her premonitions are so spot on. It's amazing, right?
Must have been charismatic then. You know what I mean? Because otherwise they would have like burned her as a witch.
Yeah,
you know?
she's ruthless. Like she is cold-blooded for sure. Which means I also think that she's she's good at like winning people over, I think.
She's read that book.
Yeah, how to make friends and influence people or whatever that is. Yeah. About a month after Frank's death, Tilly was hooked up with an old friend of her most recent ex-husband's.
Martha Stewart?
Dude. Joseph. Yes.
No.
Another Joseph.
Is this 6 now? Joe 6?
Well, okay. We don't really know what Myers' first name is.
Right.
We're just assuming
Joe.
because of the number of Josephs. And Frank, it was his middle name.
Frank Joseph.
So
counts.
Frankie Joe. Yeah.
Joe.
So Joseph Kleimeck was once widowed and once divorced and was looking for a partner with whom he could build a home. Friends suggested that Tilly...
Get better friends.
My God. Like, seriously. Despite all of her previous husbands, friends suggested that they would make a good match because she was a good housekeeper and a good cook. That's what he needed, you know, in his life. So the two were married on July 30th, 1921. To mark the occasion, Tilly destroyed every photo and letter she had of ex-husbands and ex-boyfriends, which Joseph thought was super sweet.
Yeah. Dedicated.
Okay.
Yeah, but looking back is like evidence, maybe? I don't know. Although Joseph was a man of means and kept Tilly in comfort, she claimed that he drank too much and flirted with other women. When she complained to her cousin, Nellie Kulik, the cousin suggested that Tilly seek a divorce. Not interested in that idea, she reportedly replied, I will get rid of him some other way.
There you go.
Tilly convinced Joseph to take out a life insurance policy, and soon he began experiencing shooting pains in his arms. He brushed it off, but not long after this, his...
Walk it off.
Walk it off. Oh, well, this is sad. Not long after this, his arms began to go numb, and 6 weeks later, his arms and legs were paralyzed.
Oh, whoa. What?
Yes. A doctor was called to the home who saw how gravely ill Joseph was and immediately called for an ambulance. He was rushed to the hospital where doctors saw that his symptoms were consistent with arsenic poisoning. Tests confirmed the man was suffering from the effects of long-term arsenic toxicity. When they questioned Joseph, he told doctors that his and Tilly's dog had killed over he's like, you know what?
That's funny you should mention that.
The dog ate a scrap of food that fell on the floor that Tilly was preparing and then died. And also this soup that she's been feeding me for the last couple weeks.
Does taste a little funny.
Tastes a little off.
Like almonds.
Yeah. Joseph would eventually recover, though he would spend 3 months in the hospital.
Damn.
Wow.
On October 27th, 1922, hospital officials called the police, who promptly arrested Tilly. She said to the arresting officer who placed her under arrest, "The next one I want to cook dinner for is you."
No, thank you.
You know what? I'm good.
Respectfully decline.
Yeah. Look, after 18 hours of interrogation, she confessed, saying that she did it because her husband abused her and cheated on her. It had nothing at all to do with all of the life insurance policies.
Yeah, or all the ones that preceded. Yeah.
Tilly told authorities that she had gotten the poison from her cousin Nellie. When Nellie was questioned, she admitted to getting rough on rats and arsenic-based rat poison for her cousin and admitted that Tilly had told her what it would be used for, saying she told me her husband was cruel to her and she wished she could poison him. So she was like, I got you, fam.
Oh, Jesus.
No problem. Because Tilly had survived so many husbands, police were like, hey, it might be a good idea to exhume some of the other ones.
Yeah.
So
Just
they
double check.
Just do a quick double check. Yeah. So they exhumed her husband, Frank. Frank was filled with, as police put it, enough arsenic to fill 4 men. As they began to exhume
I don't
Joseph,
know what that's supposed to mean. I'm not going to
that's
lie.
a lot.
So much arsenic.
Yeah. As they began to exhume Joseph Mitzkowitz, Tilly's first husband, an anonymous tip came in saying that Nellie, the cousin's first husband, Wojcik, we're going to say that, Strummer, should be exhumed for examination too. They're like, ring, 911. He died under some suspicious circumstances. So as police dug deeper into Tilly's life, they found that sickness and death seemed to follow her from Chicago neighborhood to Chicago neighborhood, where friends and family reported getting sick after eating Tilly's food.
I thought she was supposed to be a good cook.
I mean, they're like, that's probably why it was so effective. They're like, God damn, this shit tastes good.
Can't stop eating it.
After exhuming the bodies of all of Tilly's husbands, as well as Nellie's first husband, they found that each of them had lethal doses of arsenic in their bodies. Investigators ultimately identified 20 victims with 13 of the poisonings resulting in death. Some were neighbors, 2 of which had recently quarreled with Tilly, but most were family members in Tilly and Nellie's extended family. So nieces, nephews, sister-in-law, even their own children and grandchildren.
Whoa.
So while Nellie was married to that husband that she possibly murdered, she'd given birth to twins Sophie and Ben. Her husband refused to accept them as his, believing that she'd had an affair with one of their boarders. And the 2 children, as well as Nellie's granddaughter, Dorothy, all died of poisoning in 1917.
Oh, my goodness.
And then Nellie's son, John, and daughter, Lillian, recovered from arsenic poisoning that same year.
What?
So she poisoned all her kids.
Wow.
The papers began to speak of Tilly. So after this, a lot of people in the Polish community, men, started accusing their wives and girlfriends and the women in the community of poisoning them to try and get rid of them. And so the papers started reporting Nellie as the high priestess of a Bluebeard clique in Chicago's Little Poland neighborhood. And that this was a roving gang of women.
Yeah. Who are taking care of business. Yeah. Well, there weren't a lot of options. It's still early enough that divorce wasn't an option. Women couldn't support themselves. I mean, it's the same as whoever that one lady was in Rome. Who used to do it in the makeup or whatever. And it was just a well-known secret among women that you can go and buy makeup from this chick and it was a poison.
There's precedent for it. It's definitely happened on more than one occasion throughout history. So it's not like it was impossible that this was happening.
Yeah. But it definitely seems like hers was monetarily motivated.
Definitely. Yeah. Despite all of the accusations, police felt that they could not prove the majority of these cases. In the end, Tilly was only charged for the death of her husband, Frank, and Nellie of her husband. Throughout the trial, Tilly wore the same black hat she knitted for her husband Frank's funeral. People from the neighborhood testified about Tilly's strange predictions as well as her bizarre behavior during Frank's illness. They're like, that bitch was acting weird as hell.
She bought an on sale coffin. She wanted to move it into the thing, and then she sat by the bed knitting the funeral hat.
Knitting their funeral hat.
Tilly spent a year in jail alongside her cousin Nellie, and she, like, this is how I know that she is truly cold-blooded, because she tormented her cousin Nellie. They either shared a cell or had like adjoining cells. And she would whisper things to her cousin, and she would tell her things like, oh, they're going to hang you today, Nellie, like through the bars.
Jesus Christ, lady.
When she knew the guards were coming to take her away for something. And so Nellie would get scared that like because she didn't speak good English. And so she was like, she got scared that every time they came to get her, they were coming to take her to hang her.
Wow.
Which was not the case. And in fact, Nellie's trial ended in a hung jury followed by an acquittal.
What? So that's right, because Chicago was never they were like, a woman could never.
Right.
So Tilly, on the other hand, was convicted of the first-degree murder of her husband, Frank, though the prosecution argued for the death penalty on account of the severity of Tilly's crimes. The judge in the case shared later in a book that he would go on to write that he was unwilling to be so harsh to a woman despite the evidence against her. He wrote that had Tilly been young and beautiful, like the merry murderesses Beulah Annan and Belva Gardner, who would follow 2 years later in Chicago, that the jury wouldn't have even agreed to as harsh a sentence as she got. So she got life with no possibility of parole.
And that's pretty.
And it's because she was a middle-aged woman who was not considered
attractive.
Beautiful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Her sentence was the harshest sentence ever dealt to a woman in Chicago up until that point. She was transported to the Illinois State Pen at Joliet, where she lived the rest of her days until she died of natural causes on November 3rd, 1936, at the age of 60.
They probably didn't let her work in the kitchen.
No.
Yeah, I would think not. They're like, Yeah, but no, she was like pretty cold-blooded. Like
put you in the laundry.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm like, you got too close access to chemicals. I don't trust you in there. You need like, go work. Yeah.
Dude, the thing about her taunting her cousin, she just like, seemed like a real like just psychopath kind of person.
Yeah, I mean, and she was very cold on like on the stand and everything too. Like her cousin Nellie was also a middle-aged woman and also not like considered very attractive for that time period, but she was more sympathetic. Like she was a lot softer and like it seemed a lot more remorseful, whereas like Tilly, not at all. And they think that played a lot better with the jury, obviously.
And Tilly's got a real give no fucks.
Would shit on the stand energy.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
Damn.
Wow. Oh, all right. Well, what are you guys watching this week?
I'm not watching anything new. I mean, other than we did watch the new Persuasion movie for our Tainted Love movie that's going up on our Patreon.
Yes, starring Dakota Johnson.
Actually, it'll be up already by the time this episode comes out. And, you know, we have thoughts. We
definitely have thoughts
on that. But other than that, I mean, I'm reading some stuff, but I haven't watched anything new.
Yeah. I don't know if I talked about this, but I read House on the Cerulean Sea.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you talked about it either, but I've heard great things about that book.
So good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really sweet.
Oh.
Yeah. It was good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I finished Sandman.
Yeah.
So,
did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Overall, I will give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Wow.
The comics still exist for those people that are purists. Not a huge fan of some of the changes that they made later in the season, but they really had to eliminate all the DC mentions out. Yeah. I didn't realize how much that would affect the overall story, and I did not care for one of the lead actresses at the very tail end of just as an actress. But other than that, I think it's really good, and I definitely recommend watching it. I think it's a great fantasy show for those people that like high fantasy and comic books, and I think that you would enjoy it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
8 out of 10 is a solid rec.
Yeah. The first 6 episodes especially are like, I mean, absolutely glorious. I think they're very, very good. And the changes they made there were stunning. The remaining episodes also still good, but it's definitely like a different story. It's the second book. The first 6 episodes are the first book, Preludes and Nocturnes, and the second one is Doll's House. But it's still really cool. And I think that had I been 13 and saw the television show, I would be obsessed with it. And that makes my heart happy. You know, because it's introducing it to a new generation of people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, hey, if you guys have stuff that we should watch or read, if you have stories that you want to tell us, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much.
Cheers.